I'm as harmless as ladybug spots reflecting sun.
When my back is broken from all this weight, and the pain is terrifying.
From now on, I am the third word in a sentence of 16, and I don't care if you forget me, just don't let the thought perish.
And I could not hear, see, or feel what God was doing, and at this particular time, this particular guy, he flew in.
Cause when I look in the sky, I wonder if I'll be sent up there. Thinking of heaven, that's a place I would love to live in and literally spend endless years.
You're watching Channel Austin. This is the East by Southeast Spoken Word Showcase. I'm C'est La Vie, and I'm here with Alexis, God's Deaf Poet. Hey, girl.
Hey, how are you?
Glad to have you on the show.
I'm good. It's good to be here.
Alexis is my girlfriend, and she's finally on the show, so I'm excited to have her here. You certainly are a deaf poet, that's for sure. You definitely bring it, and you come hard when you do. So I'm definitely going to boost her up. She's like, okay. But beyond that, not only is she a dope poet, she's an educated woman. And that really, really tickles my fancy. So you're writing your thesis statement, right?
I'm writing my dissertation, and I actually propose on this coming up Monday, April the 22nd.
And her dissertation was on something very, very interesting, something that really interests me a lot, which was you were doing...
I'm doing my dissertation on spiritualizing hip-hop. I'm looking at the spiritual narratives of 4 Black educators from hip-hop communities. So basically looking at how they use spirituality in their work to change their communities.
Did you hear that? I wish y'all had if you have a DVR, you might want to rewind that because she just said a whole lot in a short time. But that's very, very important. But also, have you noticed our poets really make a difference in the community? Almost every single poet that we've had on the show tells you about the differences that they're making in the community, and that's just awesome. Yeah. So what poems did you bring?
I'm going to do the beginning of, I'm doing a poem called On Waiting, which talks about waiting on God for a relationship, which I feel like has been the hardest thing for me. And so that's the poem I'm doing. It's called On Waiting.
Ladies, I have heard this poem, and trust you me, you're going to feel it. She has some really key ingredients in there that I really think that you'll enjoy. Some amazing thoughts. I think you should do another piece after that. Maybe, maybe not.
Well, I might do the intro of one.
Okay.
So we'll see.
You got a deal. Let's do it. God's Deaf Poet, y'all.
Hello, my name is Alexis C, otherwise known as God's Deaf Poet, and I wrote this poem that I'm going to do for you today about a couple of years ago, and it's called On Waiting, and it's about waiting on God for a relationship, which seems to be the hardest thing to do for many of us, but I decided to write it about my own personal testimony, and so here it goes. Waiting had never been so hard in my life. I turned 27 and all of a sudden time became my God. And I was looking to the clock within my heart's mind had set a couple of dates and I was running out of time and time was standing still. And I could not hear, see, or feel what God was doing. And at this particular time, this particular guy, he flew in, came at the right time and I thought he was a shoot-in. Looked to my watch and thought, man, this must be him. And even if it wasn't, I did not listen. I was too worried about our house, our job, our car, our children. And no, I did not love him, but I wanted to. So I did everything that I thought the word told me to. But when I asked him to fast and pray, he said, no, I don't want to. Said there were certain spaces that women were supposed to stay into, and those boundaries I was out of. So I met his demands because I wanted to be in love. And so I tied my hands, my voice was silent. I stopped preaching and praising on him. I became reliant. This notion of not wanting to be defiant sounds like many women's stories of being committed. Sounds like the twisted world story of being submitted. But if I would have stayed any longer, I would have been committed to a mental asylum. You see, that is who I had become, deaf, blind, and dumb. So I had to run to the arms of the Son. I said, that is who I had become, deaf, blind, and dumb, so I had to run to the arms of the Son. And yeah, it hurt. but I'm still standing. I'm telling you this because there are many traps that are planned and doors that are open that are made for the broken. That which will only leave you hurt, sad, and broken. Guard your heart, it is the main game token. Guard your mind, test their fruit, and in time, God will reveal his plan for your life. But in the meantime, don't choose Mr. or Mrs. Right with your mind, but with God's eyes, and God bless him. He wasn't Mr. Evil, just him and I weren't meant to be each other's people. We had some plans to go to the steeple, but God let us know we was yoked unequal. So I had to let go and wait and trust the Father. To wait is kava. It's to bind together like twisted rope. It's one strand patience while the other one's hope. Patience. The bearing of provocation, frustration, and pain while still singing the words to the song, Lord, I won't complain. Hope's aim is to look expectantly knowing that it will come. It's a knowing without a shadow of a doubt and not being undone, for what it looks like right now is not what it is at all. Yes, 10,000 may fall, but hope still stands. It's to overstand the Abrahamic proclamation. It's to accept the wait time, the wait time's invitation, for in the wait time come much revelation if you just believe and receive with no hesitation. Parakletos. The one who came to counsel her when her faith was broken. Because in those hard days, she had to lift up a hard praise and keep hoping. And from that hard place, these words of life were spoken that David said, had he never been afflicted, he would have never learned the Lord's decrees. You see, in brokenness, there's an openness that brings us to our knees and from which God's love begins to pour. See, God can heal, deliver, and restore. Even in the battle between love and war, you are still standing. You shall live and not die. Lift up your head and raise up a clarion's cry and live. Forgive and move forward. Keep your head to the sky and eyes in the word. And this is not just words, but right now my ethos. See, I can't continue to count on earthly time, or the enemy will continue to play with my mind. See, time is in his hands, and even when it's standing still, I will continue to wait until it comes. See, I will wait on you, Jesus. You're the sun in my horizon. All my hopes in you, Jesus. I can see you now arising. Thank you. We Autobots. Lord, please keep us from Decepticons. Purpose is in your precision, so let your vision reign upon us not. Looking for Captain America, we're looking for the only one who can save us, Jesus, the ultimate avenger of all calamity. So, Father, let us be transformed in this Hulk love by the Iron Man of our belief. We reverence thee, the ultimate superhero, love above Sub-Zero, love storms through in 3DC. Former X-Men become X to sin, and former X-Men become X to sin, and former X-Men become X to sin, and bondages are set free. We Autobots. Lord, please keep us from Decepticons. Purpose is in your precision. Let your vision reign upon us not. Looking for Captain America. We're looking for the only one who can save us, Jesus, the ultimate avenger of all calamity. So, Father, let us be transformed in this Hulk love by the Iron Man of our belief. We reverence thee, the ultimate superhero, love above Sub-Zero, love storms through in 3DC. Former X-Men become X to sin, and former X-Men become X to sin, and former X-Men become X to sin, and bondages are set free. We Autobots. Lord, please keep us from Decepticons.